So today we have on the bench is a President Madison CV radio. This is my father's radio. I gave it to him about 3 or 4 years ago for I think Father's Day or his birthday, either one. And I went through the whole radio, cleaned it up, and replaced a few things. The needles in these SWR and power were stuck and non-reliable. I replaced the movements, and I had to change out the legends into the new movements. So I got that up and going. I cleaned all the controls and went through the radio, and everything was working. It came with a Silver Eagle microphone. It was very nice. So, about 3 or 4 years went by, and things started breaking down again. So we lost the. I actually changed the light bulb in this once before, and it's since burnt out again. So I'm going to change that, and the volume control's a little bit scratchy. And what else? I think there's when you first turn this on, every once in a while the lights are real dim, and then they come on bright. So I think there's a bad capacitor in the power supply section. So I'm going to go through this and see what I can find. So next shot will be pulling the cover off and see what's going on. This is one of, I think, 3 or 4 versions of this radio. The one version is this one here, which comes with the analog clock and the roll clock, whatever you want to call it. There's another version that has a digital clock, which is a later model, I do believe. And I think there's another version which comes with a 4-pin microphone jack, which I think is before this one. And there may be 1 or 2 different ones other than this. I think Uniden made a model of this also. So yeah, it's a very nice set. It sounds great. It's just needs a little bit of help. I'm gonna go through and clean the controls again and fix the light and see what I can find what's going on with the power supply section. See if it happens. No, didn't do it that time. But okay. Yeah, so the next shot, I'll open this up and see if there's anything visual. Okay, so I got the Madison cracked open, and we got the power supply section over here. We got the power transformer, and the rectifier and regulator section. And what I suspect is going on is either this cap or both are heading south. So we're gonna check those out and see how they look. I mean, they're old caps in there. I think they're probably drying out. We have some glue down there. I think it's glue. It's either that or some cap jizz coming out of the bottom. So we're gonna check those out. We'll flip it over and have access to the solder side. This is the bulb that I put in before, a little wheat bulb. So I'm gonna take that and replace that also. And like I said, I'm gonna clean all the potentiometers. I got this new stuff that I like to use. It's Deoxit Fader Cleaner. F5 cleans and lubricates. Very good stuff. Yeah, if you do use regular contact cleaner on potentiometers, you're going to be in there again. Contact cleaner works great for cleaning, but you want to put a little lubrication in there because the scratchiness can tend to come back if you just use straight contact cleaner. It works, but not as well as something with a lubricant. So once I do that, change the cap, change the bulb. Well, we're going to look at the caps and make sure that's what it is and not something else over here. Change the bulbs. Clean the controls, and just do a general testing on if we need to do an alignment, we will. I do believe when I was in this blast, I wrote down some notes for myself of what adjustments are for what. Looks like the lowest sideband AM. AM can probably set AM is L23, lowest sideband, L22, and CT2 upper sideband, and VR11 is the ALC, VR6 TX meter, the watts. So I don't remember, but so we'll see what happens. Alright, so I got that larger cap that I pulled out of the power supply board here, the 35 volt at 3300 microfarad. It looks okay on the ESR, but it's doing some strange stuff. I think this thing failed in an odd condition. It does appear to have some kind of burning looking marks on it. So I'm not sure if it was the resistor that was next to it or not, or the cap itself. But what the radio was doing when you first turned it on, when it first saw power, it would be dim. The lights on the whole radio would be dim, and then it would go bright. So that to me sounds like a cap. So this is the first cap I pulled out, and this is doing some strange stuff when I first initiate the test on the cap. You'll see what happens. See if it does it. Doesn't do it every time. Of course, it's not going to do it while I'm recording, right? It was going like 0.4, 0.5. Oh, there it was. Yep. For the most part, it starts off okay. I don't know. It doesn't look healthy to me, so I'm gonna change it. It looks like it took maybe a little bit of some damage. So I am going to scab in temporarily because I do not have a 35 at 3300. I'm going to scab two. What do we got here? I'm going to scab in two capacitors together just for now. 35 at 1000 and 35 at 2200. So I'm going to scab these in just for now until I can get the new part, or I can acquire the new cap. It will work fine. You want to match your voltage. You can go higher in voltage, and you can go higher in capacitance, but never go lower in capacitance. When you put capacitors in parallel together, you can add the capacitance together. So these two capacitors are going to equal that one capacitor for now, just until I can get a suitable footprint replacement. These obviously are going to be scabbed in, maybe with just some wire for now, or we'll see what we can come up with, but just for test. And okay, so yeah, I guess we'll start there. This radio originally didn't come with an internal speaker, so I just I hot glued a regular 3.5 inch speaker on the bottom for now. It seems to work okay. You know, it doesn't sound too bad. It doesn't sound that great, but it sounds okay. I did not get the external speaker with this radio, so. And especially where this radio sits, it's in a coffee table, a nightstand at the side of a bed, so not much space, so I had to come up with something pretty portable, so that was the best I can come up with for a speaker, and it fits with the grating over it, and the actual fins are actually right where the speaker is, so the sound does come out, and it works okay. And so we'll see what happens. I'm going to start with those capacitors and work my way onto the other side. Alright, so what I've done here is I've temporarily put these two caps in parallel and just taped them and glued them onto the chassis here until I get another capacitor on order, just to make sure everything's if it's the right capacitor or not. I'm pretty sure it is, so we'll just get this little hack in here for now. So we'll move on from that and we'll go on to the potentiometer cleaning. All the pots are on the back here. Well, they're on the front, but upside down in the back. And what you're going to find is there are some little niches inside the potentiometers. There's one right there. And this one's open. It's just, I think this one might be a switch. I'm not sure. I can't tell. Switch pot. So we're going to try and put just a squirt of the deoxit fader cleaner F5, just a squirt, and when you put it in, we're going to squirt it, we're going to move it around, and each one until it, you know, a few times back and forth. You may even feel that it gets a little looser, a little smooth. Sometimes if they're stubborn, you might have to do it a couple of times. And this one was a little stubborn, so I am going to hit it twice. Oh yeah, now I can feel it getting nice and smooth. Move on to the next. Sometimes it's a good practice just to do this anyway, because that'll make your potentiometers last a long time. For years of trouble-free service. That one's a little tough. Oh, I can feel it loosening. Yeah, that's good. You can tell that one doesn't either get much use or it's been a long time since that one's seen any lube. This one's tight too. Especially on the clarifier knob. You definitely want that one to be smooth because let me tell you, there's nothing worse than having a scratchy pot on your clarifier. Oh man, your rate will be jumping around everywhere. You won't know what the hell's wrong with it. You'll be going, driving yourself nuts trying to align it. It's a stupid potentiometer. Yeah, sometimes they can be stubborn. You gotta hit them a couple times. This one is not loosening up as much as the other ones did. It's starting to get there. It's gonna work It's gonna work its way into the shaft of the pot. Sometimes the sleeves that the shaft goes through, they get caked up. Sometimes it's not the actual fingers on the pot that's dragging it, it's the actual shaft inside. Oh yeah, there it goes. Don't worry about overdoing it either. It's not gonna hurt. And that's a sealed selector switch in the next one over here. There's no way of maintaining that one. So I'm not going to bother. But I'm going to get the clarifier knob, I believe, was here. And we'll get that one nice. That's an important one. tell you, this stuff is a little expensive. I think it's like 16 bucks a bottle or something, but it's worth every cent. Goes a long way too if you're not using it for cleaning edge connectors or anything like cleaning large things. But if you're just cleaning pots with this stuff, it'll last a long time. Well, these are worse than I thought they were. Usually only a couple squirts will do the job, but it's alright. That's good. That's perfect. Alright, so those are done. No more scratchiness. Well, we won't know for sure until we power it on, but yeah, they were getting pretty bad, and it's nothing more annoying than having a scratchy volume or something like that. But they all feel nice and smooth now. I think I hit that clarify one more time. It's the one that gets the most use. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so like I said, we've got the caps are temporary. They're just hacked in there. I know they look like shit, they look ugly, but it'll do the job for now. If you're ever in a bind, you can do that. Just don't go down in capacitance. You can go down a little bit, but you know, if it's just temporary, you can do it. Try to stay around the same voltage. You can go higher, but yeah, this is not recommended to keep in use. You know, this is just for strictly testing on the bench to see if the problem went away. I am going to get the correct part for it. Alright, so I think I'll flip the thing over, and we'll go after changing the clock light. Okay, so now we got the radio back upright, and when I first got this radio, I think the regular bulb was I can't remember if it was burnt out or it wasn't there or it was pulled back, and it had some, see, I don't know, somebody's been in this way prior to me, so I think I don't remember if it was hanging or whatnot, but I can't remember. I had to run new power wires to it, I remember, and I had to just kind of zip tie a bulb and some shrink tube up against this piece of steel chassis that's holding the clock dials in. So I'm going to cut those out, and I'm going to try and undo this shrink tube and get that weed out of there. Need some time. So I think I'll get my razor blade and cut that stuff off. Kind of got no way to cut this, but this little lever seems to be okay. Not put too much pressure. Okay, it's double shrink tubed. What am I doing now? So I'm just going to cut the bulb off Pull off the leads. Now I gotta go through my parts bin and try and find a 12-volt lead. I'm pretty sure I got one, so we'll be back. Alright, so I've soldered a new little lead bulb in, and I've put on my shrink tube. 2 small ones, 1 larger one to go over the 2. And so let's give it a shot and see what it looks like before we shrink tube it. Not bad. Looks good. Alright, so we'll shrink tube it now. That's where the hot air rework station comes in handy. I'll slide, unplug it. Slide these 2 up. Nice and close to the bulb. Whoop. You don't want to stay on there too long, you melt the solder on the bulb. Now we'll bring this one up. You know what? That was such a nice fit. I don't think I'm going to shrink tube that, because that'll make it nice and easier for me the next time I go and change the bulb. So I'm just going to zing that right back in where it was. See if I can take this off the tripod and see what it looks like. Let's plug it back in. Alright, so basically, you just kind of going to be putting it down between here like that. So it's not bright, it's not super bright, it's not meant to be, it's only meant to be seen in the dark. You don't want this blaringly super bright, but see if I can ditch some lighting in here. Nice and dark. See, kind of play with it, but just overall, just wanted to position it in the right spot where it gets good coverage, right about there. So yeah, you know, if you get this on your nightstand, you know, you can at least read the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and zip tie that back up like I did the last time, and we'll come back. So I think we got this Madison straightened away for now, until the capacitor comes in. We got the clock working. It's not too bad. It's visible at night. We turn it on. We get no dim lighting at first. Comes right on, so that's good. Put it on AM. Good, no more scratchy volume. So we'll see if it's still on frequency. Pretty damn close. We'll see what it's throwing for carrier. About 4 watts. I'm a little angled from the meter, so I'll throw it on sideband. See what that's still doing. And it's still throwing about 20-25 watts, so I'm not going to play with that. And yeah, so that's it. That's how, just a little simple reconditioning of the President Madison CB radio set. It's a nice little radio, you know. I mean, When you get these in relatively older shape, well, they're all older shape, I should say. When you get one of these used, um, you're gonna do some work. Most likely, the needles are gonna be frozen if they have not been replaced before, and there are companies out there that you can get replacement movements. You just change the legend plates in the back there where it says RF power and modulation. You can change the legend plates into the new movements, and that's basically what I did. And so you can see the new movements in there now. Those are not stock; those are replacements. So I mean, you can spend, I don't know, reconditioning. I think those movements were about, I want to guess, around $10 to $15 a piece. They weren't crazy expensive, but $30 to put a set of new needles in your President Madison. And it takes a little bit of time and patience because you got to do a little trimming and stuff like that with the legends. It's not too bad. If you're a hobbyist and you like to do these kind of things, you'll find it fun. If not, you'll be tearing your hair out. So, other than that, I don't think there's much more to get involved on this thing, really. Until that capacitor comes in, I'm just going to slap that in there when it comes in, and that's it. It's just done. I'm going to put it back together after the cap comes and give it back to my father so we can, play around with it every once in a while. Alright, so have fun, good luck, subscribe, and leave a comment if you'd like. See you later.